Back on the Newsfeed PM, thanks for staying on. Well, Floyd Shivambu has announced the formation of a new political party, Africa Mayibuye movement. He says the party will be contesting all the upcoming elections and he will be its president. Joining us now, Dr Nsizwazonke Yende, political analyst. Dr. Yende, thank you for your time. He will be its president. Others would say, well, this is ultimately what it was all about. He could not be president in the EFF. He certainly would not have been president in the Umkhonto weSizwe party. And the only route that he would have taken to be president of his own party is this process.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Mtluli, as well as to viewers at home. I also share the same sentiments with those that believe that this would have, or this was one of the predetermined move. I believe that this is a predetermined move because you look at how he has left MK, how he also left the EFF, that indeed part and parcel of what he had desired for him is to be part of the leadership position, particularly the president of the organization. And this was the only way you could be the leadership of any, or the president of the organization. So I share the same sentiment with those that believe that this is what the movement, or what Floyd Shivambu has always been desiring, to be a president of the organization. So now he is the president of the Mayibuye movement, or Africa Mayibuye movement. So I believe that this has been a predetermined decision that they took a long time before they even went to the consultation process, that this is what the process, this is what we must be, or this is what should be the end product of the consultation process. Because I don't believe that if the people of South Africa would have said there should be no political party, that they would have come and mentioned that there's no need for any political party. So I believe that this is a predetermined movement, a move by Floyd Shivambu.
Predetermined movement, that word being the operative word here. And I then ask myself, does it make a mockery of these so-called consultative processes? We've seen many do them. We've seen Herman Mashaba do his consultative process, ended up being a political party. We've seen, I think Musi Maimane would have done a consultative process, ended up being a political party. We've seen many other political parties. Does it make a mockery of these consultative processes that guise themselves in saying, well, we went province-wide, we went region-wide, and people say we want a new political party?
I think it's, if I can use this word, it's a romantic way of saying that we want to do a political party. So they use it as part of saying, you know what, this is how we're going to do it. Because, of course, they will want to say our political party is guided by the majority, is guided by the people on the ground, who is guided by the consultation process. But it is just a romantic way to say that we are now want to do a political party. Because if you look at the people that have mentioned, including the likes of Herman Mashaba, that's what they have done. So it's just part of saying that we want to do a political party, but for us to ground it from the needs of the people, for us to ground it, or to seem as if it is grounded from the majority of the people on the ground, we just have to say that we have done the consultative process. Because I don't believe that South Africans, they want any political party now, because they've rejected the political system as a whole, not just that they've rejected the ANC, not just that they've rejected the EFF and the MK and any other political party. They've rejected the political system because they've seen that for them it's not working. No any political party would be able to address the socioeconomic issues that South Africans are facing. No, there's no political party, I believe, that can be able to do that. So this is just an addition of what is already there out there in the political party, because people have already rejected the political system.
Now, he's coined a new phrase. Maybe you in political science have heard it before. We know of democratic centralism, but he's come up with deliberative democracy, equaling quality leadership. What is he talking about?
It's part of a system in normally used in development, where decisions ought to be deliberated, ought to be discussed among people. But again, it is the same, because it always boils down to issues of democracy itself, because at the center of deliberative democracy is the concept of democracy, that at the end of the day, the majority will rule, because not always, and not also all the time, people are going to agree on the same issue, people are going to agree on the same sentiment. So that's why it will always boil down to, even if people are discussing, they're negotiating, even if people have a sense of dialogue amongst themselves in terms of electing leadership, but at the end of the day, if they do not agree, it always goes back to the issue of voting as part of the democracy, that the majority should be the one that are ruling. So it's just also another way to say that, yes, of course, we're going to be democratic in our way, but at the end of the day, we're not going to use how other political parties are using, such as democratic centralism, but we're always going to go back and use the issue of deliberative democracy. But it's just a romantic way, if I can use that way. It's just a way to say that, we are trying to be different. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is still going to be the same processes that all other political parties are going through.
Dr. Yende, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on this afternoon. Dr. Nsizwazonke Yende, political analyst there on the formation of the Africa Mayibuye movement. At the head of that, Floyd Shivambu as president.